Today we have two stories that are going to get your blood pumping. First up, a 17-year-old whose so-called father shows up after a DNA test and suddenly thinks he gets to make the rules. And the kid hits him with a comeback, so cold it'll leave a mark. Then, a dad whose son is getting bullied at school. And when the teachers won't lift a finger, he sits his kid down and drops a piece of information that makes the principal absolutely lose it. Two people who refuse to back down. The question is, did they go too far? Stick around, because you're not going to want to miss how these play out. First up, a 17-year-old finally meets the biological father who denied them for years, and he immediately tries to play parent over a romance novel. 17. Think I might have to explain how I was born for context. My mom has two friends. I'll call them Amelia and Jessica. Jessica's husband cheated on her with Amelia, getting her pregnant, but Jessica forgave them. Then he cheated on her with my mom. Jessica still forgave him and forgave my mom, which makes me think she's probably the most forgiving person on the planet. Anyways, my mom insisted that Jessica's husband is my father, but he always denied it, up until several months ago when he realized how much we look alike. So he agreed to a DNA test. Turns out he is my father. So two affair children by two different women for him. He has been visiting about once a month, but things are still awkward between us. I was reading a romance novel when he told me I'm too young for those books and said I must stop reading them. I told him I won't, but he said I have to listen to him since he is my father. So I said no child support, no opinion. He seemed pretty stung by it. Was it too much? Let's see what the comments have to say. This person commented, at all. He may be your father, but he isn't your dad. Also, WTF? You're almost an adult. He can't just butt into your life at near adulthood and try playing parent. You did nothing wrong. Another commenter said, and he's obviously not a good authority on morals. Yeah, the comments are firmly on this kid's side. They're loving the clap back and saying a man who can't pay up doesn't get a say. But what do you think? If you're enjoying these stories so far, do me a quick favor and smash that like button and subscribe. It really helps the channel out. Next, a dad in Canada gets fed up with a school that won't stop his son's bullies. So he teaches the kid a lesson about the law right in front of the principal. My family lives in Canada. This is important. My kid was being bullied at school. He is a big kid, and I've always told him to resolve his problems with words. I've told him to report bullying to teachers, and if they don't listen to tell the principal. Also to tell me and his mom, so we can follow up. My son's after-school program is a Taekwondo class. Also important, he's been in Taekwondo since he was in kindergarten. He also plays hockey. There are a group of kids at his school that have been assholes to my kid and his friends. My kid did the right thing and told the teacher monitoring recess. She told him that the kids were new to Canada and that they didn't know how to fit in yet. He went to the principal and got told pretty much the same thing. So he told his mom. She wanted to go confront the parents, and she likely would have ended up in custody. She's Irish. Like real Irish from Ireland, not Marky Mark Irish. I told her I would take care of it. I made an appointment to talk to the principal and teacher along with my son. I went into the meeting with a simple goal: to stop the bullying. The principal and teacher both tried the same excuse on me, that these kids were newcomers and they weren't fully aware of how Canada was different from their home country and what they saw on American TV. I asked what was being done to stop it. They said they had talked to the boys. I asked if the parents had been brought in and talked to. He said no. Okay, so I turned to my kid and I explained that in Canada kids under 12 years old cannot be charged with a crime. In fact, they can't even be arrested. Worst case scenario, if anything happened, he might have to do some community service. The principal and teacher went crazy telling me that I can't tell him that. I asked them if I was lying. They both shut up. I pointed to them and told my kid to remember that they didn't say I was wrong. I told him to tell me in a week if he was still being bullied. My understanding is that all the bullies' parents were called in and told to control their children. The bullies were also given library detention instead of recess for a month. I'm satisfied with the result, but the teacher and principal seemed upset. My wife thinks I should have given him the information privately. Let's see what the comments have to say. This person commented, "No, I think you did good by your son. You asked the appropriate questions, you asked that more be done, and when the school showed little to no willingness to step up, you informed your son that he could stand up for himself." Another commenter said, "A lot of schools don't want to do anything. They want to be passive about problems and hope they go away. Simply bad leadership." The comments are firmly in this dad's corner. They say he handled it like a pro and the school had it coming. But what would you have done in his shoes? Let me know in the comments. What would you have done in this situation? Let me know in the comments. And that's a wrap on today's stories. I'm dying to know where you landed on these two. Was the kid too harsh? And did that dad go too far teaching his son about the law? Drop your verdicts down below, because I read every single one and the comment section always gets wild. I've got more rage-inducing Am I the Asshole stories coming your way very soon. So I'll catch you in next one.